Lots of words. Yeah, you've heard a lot of them, haven't you? I will create as I speak. Abracadabra. Through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. That is the principle that we chose today. We, I say we. Because really, it is a we. I sit, I wait. Spirit says, how about this one? And I said, magic? Really? I'm going to talk about magic? And then we have a journaling group that our master journal leads. And I drew a card, and it was magic. That was the word on the card. So I said, okay, you win. And sometimes it goes like that for most of us, right? Okay, you win. Our word is our magic wand. Through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. Now, the interesting thing about this magic that we've got going on and that we're creating all the time, is this. Florence Scovel-Shinn, who is a Unity teacher way long ago. I love Florence Scovel-Shinn. She's probably one of my favorite Unity teachers. She was the woman that said, and I swear to you, she put her hands on her hips. Never saw it happen, but she put her hands on her hips and she said, I am the power of God. I am. And she meant it. She knew through the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. She talked about how we have the power within. Now, none of this is new. We know this, right? This is not new. I'm not teaching you anything you've never heard. But what we are doing here is we're turning it up a notch. The magic that you hold in your life through your words, through your thoughts, through your deeds, through your actions, you are more powerful than you have ever understood yourself to be. Now, power in the wrong hands, as we might know, can be a little scary if we are not consciously aware of what that power can do in our lives and in the world out here. So Florence Scovel-Shinn gave us a couple of rules, three actually. This is what she said. When you use your words, they should be used for one of three things: healing, blessing, or prospering. How simple is that? Healing, blessing, or prospering. Ask yourself, the last conversation you had, which of those things was it? And it could be more than one. You could get multitasking done. I just think I'll do a little blessing and healing. How about that? I don't know about you, but sometimes this is the way my conversations go. Instead of healing, blessing, and prospering, they are hurting, they are blasting, and they are pining. I take my magic wand and I turn it into a weapon, rather than use the power of my words in a way that feeds my soul and feeds the people around me. Now, it really isn't magic. Magic as we know it, when I can read Josie's mind, not that kind of magic. It's this kind of magic. I know it comes as a big surprise for those of you who know me, but I have an acronym for the word magic. And those who don't know me, you will learn that I have a lot of acronyms. They just come flying in. I have written them on box tops and receipts and fast food bags. Those fast food bags belong to someone else, I will tell you. Oh, okay. Magic. Moving all good into consciousness. Moving all good into consciousness. Check that out. Isn't God good all the time? God is good all the time. All the time. God is good. This has nothing to do with Reverend Penny Honey. This stuff drops in. Moving all good into consciousness. And the only way that those things can drop in is if I am blessing, right? Healing, or prospering, either myself or the people around me. Moving, take an action, move out of the past, move into the present, move. What do we know is the best thing for our bodies? To move. What do we know when we are someplace that doesn't feel right? What is the first step that we might want to take? To move. To move ourselves out of what no longer serves us and to move ourselves into what feeds our soul. Moving. All. Now, all is a big word. 3 letters, but it's a big word. Takes a lot of the world in when we say all. And I know that here in Unity, and I know in New Thought, we have a tendency to want to quit. It's all good. You know what? I will stand here as a New Thought minister and tell you I am yet to buy all the way into that. I have a big sign on my kitchen wall that says, it's all good. And in little letters I have written, eventually. It is the eventual that we struggle with when we're trying to move out of something that no longer serves us. But if we can do that discernment and do that work and stand present to knowing what feeds our soul and what is the best next move for us, everything that we bring to us will be in the realm of good, because the universe is ever conspiring to bring us to our highest and best. That's no magic trick. That's just the law. That's the way the world works. Moving all good. Now, good is an interesting word. I actually looked up the meaning of good. Don't you think that's funny? I mean, who doesn't know what good means? Well, it's an interesting thing because one of the top definitions of the word good is this: alignment, check that out, conforming to the moral order of the universe. I am so in with Merriam-Webster on that one. I'll take that one. And it is about alignment. It's about bringing into our consciousness the fact that the universe is really out there to support us. It's in here to support us. It's all around us to support us. God is good all the time. So we are moving good. Moving all good into. Now that is an interesting little word in this acronym. I thought, well, I can just kind of skim over that one. Because what I started realizing in my time of meditation was this: into is about going inward. Moving all good into. The Bible tells us, go into your private room and close the door. We're talking about meditation. We're talking about being present. Moving all good into. Sit with the good. Sit with the consciousness. Notice when the thoughts take you away from that which brings you peace and joy. And I know that these are just thoughts. I know that these don't necessarily, by the looks of it, heal a broken heart, fix a sick friend, comfort the sadness that we can feel. But holding and moving all good, bless you, into your consciousness can cause those words, as Trina shared with us, to now make manifest into our physical world. You have a magic wand. It might not be as cute as the one I have. Thank you, compliments of Bonnie. Moving all good into consciousness. Awareness of the mind itself. Consciousness. Awareness of the mind itself. Now I want you to think about that for just a second. My dad would say to my brother, who would always lay, because we'd lay on the floor and watch TV. Of course, we'd be this close to the screen, and now we all know we're not supposed to do that. We don't have to do that anymore, do we? But we'd lay on the floor and we'd be watching TV, and he'd see something he really liked, my little brother would, and he'd raise up his head, and my dad would say, "Where's your head?" And he'd say, "Right here." That's like consciousness. Where's your consciousness?
Right here.
Right here. See, sometimes we forget we even have it. Consciousness is, in fact, that awareness of our mind itself. Now, sometimes I make a statement and I forget that my word is my magic wand. And I say this. I will say, I forget. I forgot that. The truth is, in that moment, I remembered it. One shift, one different word. I didn't forget anything. I just remembered it. I'm late. I'm late. Oh, that's a big one with me. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. It's because I'm going so many different directions. I'm late. No, I'm not. I'm arriving at the perfect time. That's consciousness. And it's through the power of our words, not just these that come flying out of our mouths. These words. I was blessed to get to work in a woman's dress shop for a while. Now, this is a woman, me, who moved from construction management into working in a woman's dress shop. Job site with a porta potty, dress shop in Carlsbad, California. Big swing. And the work was the same. It was the same as I'm standing right here doing ministry. I would stand with women and they would stand in front of a mirror and they would say awful things to themselves. Awful. And then they would overpay for a piece of clothing that they thought would take that feeling away. It wasn't going to change a thing until they realized the power of their own words. And I leaned in one day to a woman who was just badgering herself. And I whispered in her ear, "Your 14-year-old daughter is sitting right there. She can hear you. What are you teaching her about the power of your words? And what are you teaching her about the quality of hers? Your word is your magic wand. I could spend $1,000 on a brand new jacket. And if I am telling myself awful things about me, it just doesn't matter. And those awful things will stay with me longer than it takes for me to pay that off on my credit card. Those things will stick with me and stay with me. So, try a new thought. Try a new thought. I forgot. No, I just remembered. Now, I can't do much with the thought that I have sometimes of I should be taller. But what I can do is I can take those same words and I can say, I'm as big as God needs me to be. I'm going to show up as big as God wants me to be. And I may look like I'm 6'5", maybe. But the point is the power is in the word. The power is in the word. I get to say I'm as tall, I'm as big as God is calling me into. I love waking up in the morning and saying that. And I will tell you, getting to be here as the senior minister has given me that opportunity every day. I am as big as God is calling me to be. And when I forget, your words change that, just like we have the power to change that in the world. We have the power to make that difference, to whisper in that ear. God is listening. Your daughter is listening. Somebody is hearing you. Choose those words wisely. My grandma used to say, let me be gracious and sweet with my words today, for tomorrow I may have to eat them. There's power in that, folks. Are you healing, blessing, or prospering with your words? Your magic wand, moving all good into consciousness. You get to be amazing every time you remember. You get to be amazing every time you forget, because you're getting ready to remember. I thank you. I thank you for indulging me to do a magic trick, to bring a magic wand to service. I thank you. And it is by your words and your love and your support that I feel free enough to do that. I encourage you to turn that inside, moving all good into your own consciousness. This is who you came to be. This is who you came to be. You are amazing. Namaste.